Namaste, my dears. Hello and welcome to day 5 of the Sunrose Yoga Podcast's 30-day video blogging challenge. I'm Kelly and we've been working on deepening our back bends, and so today I thought we'd do a little bit more of that. Thanks so much for joining me. Okay, everybody. So hi, we're here with Una, my baby, and we're working on just little incremental steps you can take towards Urdhva Dhanurasana, or upward facing bow. And one thing I like to do, especially if you're working with feeling some trickiness through the neck, is to recline over a ball like this. And you can do this yourself. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But for now, Una, just lay back, just relax. Dudes. Very nice. Very nice. Here, now watch Mama do it. So you just squat on one end, lay on back, and then you can bring your hands overhead to just sort of feel what this feels like. Are you okay? And to experiment placing your hands so that your fingertips are facing your body, and you're making sort of it doesn't have to be a right angle here, but pretty much you're working towards bringing your forearms perpendicular to the earth and keeping them in line with your shoulders. Una, please don't turn that off. Okay, good. So this is sort of our next step.
So back bending is one of those places where you really need both the sthira and the sukha. You need the strength and the grace, the strength and the surrender, in order to be safely supported and successful in an energetic way. So let's begin with the shoulders. So one thing I like to practice, one little sequence I like to practice, is to inhale the arms up high and hook the thumbs. And then just pretend like you're diving in, like you want to be so fast. And then, without pulling, just let your shoulders come back to where they are naturally. I'm not like really plugging them in, I'm just letting them soften here. And then I take a nice, just notice of my spine, and then really sit back into the sitting bones. Oftentimes when we're sitting on our haunches, I'm sitting on my heels right now, we really arch the low back. And just take a minute to sort of settle into your sitting bones. Good, and see what that feels like. And then we'll lengthen the spine. Feel like the ribs on the back of your body are climbing up your back. And at the same time, soften your shoulders. And sit back into your sitting bones. And then we'll start to really inhale some life into the heart. So we're not thrusting the chest out, but just feel the heart be buoyant. And we'll soften the shoulders away from the ears. Squirrel. And then we'll really start to pull the thumbs away from each other and soften the shoulders away from the ears and sit back into the sitting bones. And then release. Your arms and your shoulders will really feel that. Now let's take this same concept into bridge, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. And move the camera a little bit.
Now, we're going to practice those same principles of, really having sort of a natural neutral tailbone, having a lifted but not thrust heart, a feeling of the shoulder blades descending down the back, and the belly button sort of being magnetically drawn toward your spine, all while keeping a pretty soft neck. Just sort of gently feeling the head cradled by the earth. Now, I think it's important to practice bridge with our arms where they're going to be in upward facing bow. And for some of you, your elbows will want to splay out, and that can over time weaken the shoulder. So if you fall into that camp, or if you don't know what camp you fall into, you may wish to support your upper arms with a strap. And it should be snug enough to where it holds your upper arms sort of at the same width as your shoulders. So come onto your back. And bring your feet parallel, your knees in line with your hips and your feet in line with your knees. Bring your hands up overhead. They're just on either side of your ears with your fingertips pointing toward your ears. Good. Really feel what it feels like to press your palms into the floor in this way. And we'll just take some breaths here, sort of inhaling, arching the back, and exhale, rounding the spine. Noticing how your body naturally moves with the breath. Very subtle. And then bring your weight evenly throughout your feet. Really feel that you have access to the power in every single part of your foot. And then as you inhale, press down into your feet and lift your hips. Use your legs here. Your booty will be working a bit, but it's important not to use only your butt. Good, firming your knees toward one another so you keep that nice distance, about a foot between them. And then we'll begin the work. Begin to feel your lower ribs, your back ribs climbing up your back. Begin to draw your belly button toward your spine. And then begin to feel your heart, your front ribs moving toward your chin. Remember to stay in each and every part of your feet, your inner, your outer balls, and right in the center of your heel. And then come down slowly. Good. Now, after practicing that, if you realize that you don't need the strap, you can toss it. If you realize you do need it, keep using it. So from here, it's easier for me to talk without it in my face, so I'm not going to use it. But you can imagine, if you want to, that I have a strap here. So then from here, we're really going to work incrementally. I'm guessing that if you are watching this video, you have tried this and feel either some fear around some part of it, or you feel like this pose is inaccessible to you presently. And I just want to say we've all been there. That's completely normal. Work at your pace. Work with your body. Let your body tell you what is working and what is not. I feel like oftentimes we're in classes where things happen very fast and we look around and we think everyone knows exactly what they're doing and that they could essentially have a choreographed yoga class. And I want you to know that this is a practice and it's not a show. It's not a performance. And if something's not working, take a step back. I feel like I'm not articulating myself very well right now, but it feels really important for me to tell you all that this is a practice. We're all practicing. Okay, I'm back. So now we're going to bring the hands up over the head, or over the shoulders, fingertips pointing towards your head. And then just sort of reassess everything we've just talked about. Make sure that there's a foot of space between your knees and that your feet are parallel and in line with your knees and your hips. As you inhale, press down into the feet, lift the hips, lift the low back, and pause here. Press your hands into the earth and come onto the crown of your head to maybe readjust your hands. Your index fingers are parallel. Now find that nice neutral tailbone, neither tucked nor tilted. And then we'll press the hands into the floor, press the feet into the floor, lifting up through the heart. And the heart is moving forward, and that means toward the heel of the hands. Pressing down into the balls of the feet, the heels. Nice neutral tailbone. You might want to stay here for days just to feel what this feels like and to practice keeping your elbows facing this away. Now, after all of this, take some time in some very restorative forward folds. I mean, obviously bringing the knees to the chest feels great. I've been encouraging my students to spend a lot of time in legs up the wall, where you're, essentially in a forward fold, really feeling that small of the back connect with the earth. You can also do this with your lower legs elevated up on, I have my ball back here, if you didn't see that. And this can be very relaxing. Hands on the belly is extra grounding. And now, all that being said, back bends are really powerful energetically. And if you've been practicing a lot of them, you might find yourself just like with almost buzzing with a tingling of excess energy. Excuse me. So that's why I feel like it's really important when you're working on back bending to formulate an intention or dedication for your practice that is greater than yourself. If working with gratitude is something that works for you, I'd say go for that. Lately, I have been encouraging my in-person students to really just sort of let the nectar of whatever the fruits of their practice, whatever that is, just sort of rise up to the surface and send that to all beings everywhere. If that doesn't work for you, then find a specific person or think of someone who could really use whatever you're feeling, whether that's joy or peace or motivation or, anything. Just sending that mentally to someone else can really be a powerful practice for backbending. If you don't do this, you might find yourself feeling almost like aggressive after backbending. You might find yourself unable to sleep. They're very powerful and energizing anyway, so if you practice a lot of back bends at night, you might find yourself sort of unable to go to sleep anyway. But I think that directing your energy from your practice in a conscious way is very helpful, not only for you, but for everybody that you come in contact with, and anyone sort of out there who's receptive to what you're throwing out. I could go on and on about back bends, and I feel like we've only scratched the surface. So it feels strange for me to leave you with that, but I must go on, and we of course will come back to this, and I encourage you, if you'd like to work deeper with me on this, just get in touch. I am offering that to anyone. And so with that, I thought maybe we'd conclude our time together by chanting Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free.